Imagine a cat with no eyes who somehow ends up being the one to teach 4 perfectly sighted cats how to open doors and drink water from the sink. That's Ray, and his level of chaos can only be explained by one thing: he's orange. Ray's story begins on the streets of Turkey, where a kind old man had been watching over a small, unusual kitten. The kitten had no eyes. He didn't have damaged or cloudy eyes, but simply empty sockets where eyes should have been. The old man eventually brought him to a local animal shelter, hoping someone could help. The shelter did what they could, and that's where 𝐬𝐮𝐽 found him. A 4 to 5-month-old kitten who was underweight, had a mild infection in his eye sockets, and absolutely zero idea that any of this was supposed to be tragic. 𝐬𝐮𝐽 took him home, expecting to foster a fragile, timid little creature who would spend his days quietly in a corner. What she got instead was a kitten who had already figured out how to escape his shelter cage and had chosen, of his own free will, to sleep in the trash can outside the vet's office. She named him Ray. Within days of arriving at his foster house, Ray had mapped every inch of the space. He was running, jumping, playing with toys, even fetching. 𝐬𝐮𝐽 had imagined a small, quiet life, one where Ray wouldn't do much more than eat, sleep, and use the litter box. She felt sorry for the little guy. But Ray was charging around like he owned the place, which, to be fair, he seemed to believe he did. It was such a pleasant surprise. 𝐬𝐮𝐽 found him a home relatively quickly, and though it stung a little to let him go, she thought it was the right thing. It wasn't. A few months later, Ray was returned. He was meowing too much, they said. He wanted too much attention. Ray's soon-to-be forever mom took one look at the situation and made a quiet decision. Ray wasn't going anywhere again. He was hers. Now, introducing a blind cat into a household of 4 other cats sounds like something that should go smoothly if done right. In practice, the tabby gang was having absolutely none of it. They weren't aggressive exactly, but they weren't welcoming either. For months, Ray had his own room while 𝐬𝐮𝐽 tried every integration technique she knew. Nothing worked. The tabbies remained unimpressed. Then she tried to focus on 𝐃𝐭, who was described as the best of the worst. In the context of cat diplomacy, it counts as a glowing endorsement. 𝐬𝐮𝐽 started letting 𝐃𝐭 into Ray's room. Just the 2 of them. No audience, no other cats around to influence the mood. Ray took a few paw hits to the face, but then they slowly started to build a friendship. They started eating together, then sleeping near each other on the cat condo. Then one day, 𝐬𝐮𝐽 caught them snuggling. After that, they were inseparable, chasing each other around the apartment, playing and causing chaos. Ray stole a ball of wool from 𝐬𝐮𝐽's grandmother's bag, and the 2 of them systematically destroyed it together. 𝐃𝐭 had found her partner in crime. Ray, for his part, had found his best friend. The rest of the tabby gang followed, one by one. And Ray, who had spent months alone in his own room, was suddenly the most social cat in the house. His happiness was now complete. Because Ray cannot see, he has none of the visual anxieties that trip up most cats. He's the first to greet anyone who enters the apartment. There's no fear in this friendly ginger guy. When the family moves to a new home, which they have done several times, the sighted cats spend days hiding and adjusting. Ray just maps the new space and gets on with his life, usually within the hour. He walks on a leash. He goes on outdoor adventures. He sits on the balcony listening to birds and smelling flowers. He estimates heights, climbs to the top of the wardrobe, and lands himself safely back down. He was, somehow, the first of all 5 cats to figure out how to open closed doors by jumping up and grabbing the handle. He then, generously, taught the others. He cannot see, but he used his other senses to enjoy life to the fullest. There's one more thing about Ray worth mentioning. Because he can't see 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞, he seems to have concluded that she can't see him either. So he narrates his life in meows, giving his mom constant, earnest updates on his location, his feelings, his needs.
Ne oldu? Ne?
She didn't sign up for this level of communication, but she's not complaining. 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 eventually moved to Finland for work, and when the time came to travel, Ray flew in the cabin with her, calm, quiet, no trouble at all. He is currently living in Finland, still mapping new rooms, still meowing his whereabouts, still absolutely certain the next door leads somewhere worth exploring. People often say they feel sorry for Ray when they first hear about him. 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞's response is always the same: please don't. A long time ago, she also thought that Ray wouldn't be able to experience everything that life has to offer. Now she knows more about special needs cats. Despite his inability to see, Ray is, by any reasonable measure, one of the happiest cats alive. He has feline friends, a warm home, and a human who once thought she was just fostering him. What he doesn't have is the slightest idea he's supposed to be limited or feel sorry for himself. He recently celebrated his 10th birthday, and trust us, it's been the most joyful 10 years a cat could dream of. Here's to many more.